Hold on.
Maybe you can use your, that'll work if they're in.
Or his.
Can you say, oh, you don't have the, let me do this. It'll light us up a little bit. Yeah, hey guys, when you pop in. Yeah, that's not too bad. Or maybe if we do it.
Let me go get a bean bag from the cornhole.
He's gonna get a bean bag from the cornhole. Let me share it so people know. Here, hey, let it go. How are you? Andy, I know I look like a creepy light. We're gonna try to get it set up, but we had to wait till we went live because we didn't know exactly how it was gonna work.
We're gonna have to, so my phone is the backlight. What's up, people?
Yeah, that'll work. Well, then go get another beanbag for this one.
Oh.
We're gonna get it going on. So I'll talk and then. So for those of you who don't know, have you ever seen Andy in our chat? He always says he is. Hey, Moon Bear. He always said. I know, right? He always speaks highly of Sean. He really likes Sean, and he is probably the closest cousin in terms of knowing Sean. And he asked us, he said, it'll stop shaking when I set it up, but he said, can I come on for 5 minutes and talk to your chat? And I said, absolutely, you can come on and talk to our chat, and it can be longer than 5 minutes. So we're out back, the ocean's behind us, if you can hear that. Andy went and got a Coke, as soon as I get it set up.
But see, you're gonna have to have that with the lights on it, though.
Well, it'll be on us. See, it'll work.
Okay.
But there's what is the shadow?
It might be a ghost.
It might be a ghost.
Well, all right, guys, real quick.
I really want them to see you.
Yeah, when Andy comes on, but this is where we're at, guys. If you guys can see it.
We've had a great time, and it's not over yet. We're here until Friday. All of our animals are boarded. So that's hard, those of you who know, but it's kind of nice. Hey, thank you. We're having a great time, but you know us and our animals. We miss our animals. So, but we're having a good time. Literally, the order of the day is we wake up when we want to. We come out to the pool. It's kind of like Groundhog Day in a good way. Swim.
Let It Go said, is that a restaurant or a lodge? That's the lodge.
That's
where we stay.
27-room
bedroom.
Beachfront. There's Andy.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay, and he's coming to sit down. So I told him to take as long as he wanted it to talk. And it's kind of like a personal thank you from us to the beast for everything that she said. And it's not vindictive and it's not bad, but Sean deserves to have his say. And Andy also observed. I didn't realize that some of your family members had come to visit you in jail when she had you thrown in jail.
Yeah, they're here.
I didn't realize that, and they're here. And they know the hell that he went through. I'm gonna let him talk, but to see, Sean really told me a whole lot more than I had known about it before today at lunch about just how bad it really was with the family and her.
We're trying to figure out how we were going to do this. And I was talking to Andy about it when we were at dinner, and
I do like
and he was like, I don't want to, say something or do anything that you don't want me to do or bring it up. And I said, we'll give him the floor, and we'll kind of read questions if you want, and just I'll probably step to the side and let him sit here.
That'll work.
And then because we can't really
nervous,
fit.
Which is cute.
He is.
But,
he's so nervous. He's like,
he is. I have to say, from what I've seen, he's an amazing father. And
yeah, he's here with his son.
Oh my God, you talk about his whole life, and I think that's pretty cool when he's a single dad, and I was really taken with that. That was the first thing I noticed.
Well, other than my family, you like them?
Yes, I do.
So,
and they seem to be receptive to me.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what's said behind the scenes or what they've said.
I've seen these people. Most of the people that are here was 10 years ago, at one of my cousin's weddings with who, and they just stopped inviting me. They stopped inviting us. So
see, and that was what I didn't realize. I knew that there was a banishment, but I didn't know, that it was
So,
and you can understand why.
so the first time since I think it's 2012, I've seen a lot of my family. And I used to live up there. I used to see them all the time. But, my choices and my relationship and where I was at, they just couldn't invite us. They just stopped inviting me and inviting us for obvious reasons. So that's the first time I'm getting to see a lot of these people. And it's so good because my aunts and uncles, they're my mom and dad's siblings, my mom's siblings. So they're all in their 70s and 80s. And so this may be the last time I get to see any of them. I was talking about that with one of my uncles. It's like, this is priceless to be out here because we never know, especially the older people, our parents.
That's not our family. We're not that wild.
That's the lodge next door.
We're having fun,
if we're ever going to see people,
clearly they're having more fun.
If I'll be able to see my aunts and uncles again, especially in this setting where we're all together. There's over 60 of us here. So
let me ask you this. So this chair right here, the other side might be too dark. So I might move to this other side, put Sean here, put Andrew in the middle.
Then maybe you can read the chat on his phone or whatever. And it's because these questions are, if they ask questions or if they just want them to talk.
Oh, then I'll watch for the questions. If I've missed any of your chats so far, I think he's trying to pull it up on his phone.
So Moon Bear, I thought Moon Bear was in here.
Moon Bear, why'd you leave?
It does look good.
Does it? Okay.
Okay.
So he's coming. Those questions that you want to ask that, I guess pertain to how bad, not how bad, but what Sean's really like. If you can just turn it down if you can, all the way down.
Oh, she had to feed the baby.
Does it? Okay.
Family first.
Okay. Well, hopefully she's still watching. Yeah, you just have to turn it down.
Turn the volume down.
No, you're good.
No, I don't want it on.
No, you can have it on.
We gotta
hey,
read
Shannon.
We're gonna read the chat.
Shannon,
okay.
Chase Elliott won. Shannon.
She's not a Chase Elliott
She's
fan.
from Dawsonville.
Dawsonville. While
No,
we
I know
were
he's not,
driving
but-
out here.
There you go.
So this is
So
what we're
here
gonna
we
do,
go.
Andrew. You're gonna sit in the middle.
I am? Okay.
I'm gonna sit here.
Water, Coke.
You're so sweet.
Yeah,
Thank
great
you.
bag. Yeah, I just
he
wanted to bring
got
drinks.
us everything together.
I was coming. I had to put my son down, but then I almost slipped coming by out here. So I almost broke my leg. But I'm good.
Now, Andy, what is your name when you come in? I know there's numbers after it. What is
It's
the name?
Andy3739.
Okay,
How
Andy.
come we can't
It's been a while,
see
but
the-
that's what
we
it
can't
was.
do the chat.
I don't know. It's coming up. Y'all can see the chat. You're chatting, right?
I'm trying to put it on tweet so he. Hold on, maybe I gotta do this. Hold on.
Is that his phone?
Yeah, it's
He
mine.
can't see our chat for some reason. Let him see the chat on your phone.
Yeah,
Well,
you're gonna have
then-
to do it on your phone.
Well, then
I
we
don't
need
know
to.
why.
Then we need to make this one. You have a backlight on this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Moonbear is saying hey to you. It's been.
Hey, I haven't talked to her in a few months. Hey,
Yeah.
Moon Bear.
Okay, so it's gonna go dark
Hey,
for a
go.
minute. Okay, so
and then we're
we
gonna
can
get it set
use
up.
This one. How's that?
Whatever I'm good.
Good.
Ooh.
I mean, as long as they know we're here,
Okay.
right?
How's that? All right, so Andy's gonna sit here.
Yeah, Andy sits in the middle and then you sit on the end. And if we
Okay.
need to move it around, we will.
Okay.
This is a low budget production.
Yeah, right.
Also, I just saw, I got tagged in something that German lady posted. Sean, I don't even think you've seen this yet. Katie attacked, I believe,
Andy.
said that they
Andy.
shouldn't pay any attention to Savage, and I think Shannon because they can't even keep a baby alive, is what
Wow.
Katie said.
Katie
And
said that?
Yep.
Well-
You know who MFW is? Miss Fucking
Katie?
Wonderful?
I've heard of her.
Okay.
But I
you
haven't.
are a low down dirty bitch. And it's interesting that you ended up with RSN, the rapist.
I'm about to say she's with. Ooh,
You
she's
are right
collaborating
with,
with the Real
this
Stream
is,
News.
This is what
She's right where she
he
needs to be.
admittedly says. He said this girl came, this underage girl, he plied her with alcohol, right? This loser
Yeah.
did.
Oh, he doesn't know the story.
And
yet.
kept trying to get with her and get with her and get with her till she finally said, just finish however you want, which is a classic. It's still assault. See, even he knows. Well, RSN cannot understand how that's assault. That is still rape.
Yeah.
That's still rape, dude. And the fact, anyway, that I heard that today, and I thought when I saw that they had teamed up for a little podcast, I was like, y'all are, because Katie came up with Rich Lux, Dustin Daly, Peter Mon. They are all got partnerships and hundreds of thousands of subs. All she's got is 2 broke down closed channels and a house that she's about to get evicted from. So when you say that about like between what he did and what you do, y'all are made for each other. Enjoy it. This is the drama community at the end of the day. So anyway.
I mean, I don't know anything about what you're talking about, but I know assault is any unwanted touching. I can
Right.
tell you that from
Yep.
my background. But anyways.
So, anyways, we're going to, they're flickering lights. Is it
Well,
last
there
call?
it goes. Now it's on. It took a second for the light to. Who's flickering light?
Inside.
No, they're just playing pool. So they turn on the,
The
lights so they
interesting
can see the
thing
pool
about
table.
the three of us is none of us drink. None.
Non-drinker,
Andrew, you
non-smoker.
never have you?
No, nope. The only drinks I've ever taken was back in church, I guess, when we
There
get
you
wine
go.
or something. But
Danny Dandelion.
for no reason.
Oh,
I'm not
they
against
said-
it. I'm not a prohibitionist, but just decided
No.
not to do it.
They said
Some-
Real Stream News has got a problem with opioids.
Oh boy.
But I heard it was worse than that. But I don't know. I just know that he continues to be able. And one of the unfortunate byproducts of the drama community is we allow these people, and not just us, but drama in general.
Right.
We allow these people to continue to have a platform.
Well, and he'll say stuff like the prosecutor didn't take it to court, therefore I'm innocent. No, they didn't have enough because she wouldn't cooperate. You're still every bit the creep and the sexual assaulter that you ever were. He just didn't have enough, and that's how that goes.
So, but I will. I don't know how y'all feel about Negs. I've known Negs for a little while. Haven't hung out with him for a long time, but he gave it to RSN on his own stream,
He
and
chewed him out.
I about this issue, and I thought that was pretty solid. So
I think it's funny that MFW and RSN are splitting pennies and fighting over it. What a broke down hoe she is, fighting over some AdSense money. Anyways, okay, so how much older are you than Sean, or younger?
Younger.
How much younger?
I'm 1974.
yeah,
It's about 5 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so growing up in the 70s, it was me, my brother, and then two cousins in upstate New York, and this is one of
Switch
the
it back
cousins.
and forth, I guess, right?
This is one half of Kiss.
Yes.
We used to like air guitar Kiss and stuff like that in the
Tennis rackets.
70s, and you're looking at half of that.
That's right.
They recreated a picture today. They had taken a picture in Cape Cod years and years ago, so they recreated it with the people today. And Sean, y'all didn't have the tube socks, but in the original ones, you had like colored ring tube socks,
Oh, yeah.
a bandana, right, Sean?
Yeah,
A bandana and your mullet.
yeah. I had a mullet. I thought we were gonna do the Cape Cod from like the 80s.
Oh, look at that one.
When I had the gray parachute pants on and a Van Halen, I had a Van Halen T-shirt on, and then
Awesome, O'Hill.
a
Yeah.
gray and black tiger stripe bandana on.
Yeah.
Good
Juries
days.
find guilty parties innocent all the time. Absolutely, Moonbear.
But they didn't bring it to. They didn't even bring it to
She wouldn't
trial.
She just wanted to be done.
She wanted to be done with it.
And
You know,
and he
this is
was
what these
like,
women want. They want to be done with this thing.
yeah. But anyway, that's why I will always think that Sean does too. That's why I will always think that he's just a slimy loser, and that's all there is to it. But so the first time that you met his ex, what was your impression?
Oh, I didn't. Oh.
We call her the Beast.
Yeah, I guess.
If
You
you're
know, again,
comfortable.
yeah, I just, again, coming on here is kind of a spontaneous thing. I haven't watched anything in about 2 months, so I really
Like
don't
current
know.
drama. You're talking about current drama, right? You haven't
Yeah,
watched it yet.
but I know things would always go like this back and forth.
Yeah.
When I did get a chance to watch, I didn't get a chance to watch much, but I haven't watched it all in the last couple of months, so I don't know exactly what's been going on and who's been doing what. But,
She's homeless.
oh God.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
He
I
really
guess,
doesn't know.
I don't. I always loved Sean. I always looked up to Sean. He was the eldest cousin, and I always looked up to him. And then the military service and all that stuff is someone I always look up to. So I just want him to be happy. And I know Jess and him had 3 beautiful daughters and stuff like that. And you know, divorces happen, and I was just hoping he would be happy. But I mean, just be completely honest. I didn't really talk to Trisha much. Personally, I didn't have much interaction with her.
Yep.
I really didn't.
Until the fallout.
I really didn't.
Well, he didn't.
Yeah, I
But-
really didn't. I mean, obviously the family knows what's going on, and I know what you guys want to talk about and stuff, but I really didn't have much
Hey, yoga
interaction with
pants.
her. I
Yeah.
really didn't. I didn't talk to her much. And if at any time I talked to her, obviously it was pleasant because I was respectful with Sean and whatnot, but that was it. I probably talked to her 2 or 3 times in my life. That is it. That was it. And that was at weddings. My wedding and then my brother's, Michael's wedding.
Where did the broken wrist happen?
Michael's wedding.
Michael's wedding. Okay.
Yep.
I couldn't remember that. And that was the last
That was the
event
last
that I was
straw.
invited to.
She was acting a fool and fell and
Yes, yeah, I didn't see it.
was her boobs out?
I have no idea. I have to be honest.
She'll
I
pull
really
them out
don't
at
know.
anyone's wedding. It doesn't matter.
And this is the part about it is my whole family lives up there in New England and in Rhode Island and New York and in Massachusetts. And so I was up there stationed, so I got to see them all the time. But because of my decisions and my relationships and the stuff like that,
Yep.
they just had to uninvite me, you know, and it wasn't like anybody sat me down and said, hey, you can't really come anymore. I just quit getting invitations, which, you know, that's a hint. That is the hint that you get.
Hurts, huh?
And it sucked for a lot of people because I was,
Big time.
there was time, okay, so in the 70s, I lived up there with everybody. And then we moved south in 1980. And but up until I was about 12 years old, I was around them all the time.
Big time.
And so when I went back up there in 2005, I would go and visit here and there, but to be living and stationed around them again was incredible because I get to go on a Saturday and go over into Massachusetts just on a Saturday,
Right.
and visit people. So as my marriage ended and then my new relationship started and I brought this person into their lives, it was the worst thing that I could have ever done. And we've got a lot of public servants in our family, you know, police, law, all that. So they just couldn't have us around that situation anymore. It just wasn't healthy. So imagine being reunited with your family that you hadn't seen 20 years off and on, not living with them, and then all of a sudden you just get uninvited to everything.
Right.
That's kind of what happened.
You know, I always thought about if I was on here someday, what I would actually say, because I just want to be honest with everything. Everything. As far as Sean's ex-wife is concerned, because honestly, with Trisha, I never had a problem with her.
That's honest,
interacting
yeah.
with her. I never did. What really upset me is the stuff that she would say about him. Apparently on YouTube, you can go on and say whatever you want.
You can.
And make up anything about anyone. And when you
Move this
know,
over, sure.
when you know it's someone that you love, big time, and you know it's not true, that's really the only beef I ever had with Trisha, because she never did anything to me. She never did a damn thing to me, but I did not like the stuff that she said. Whatever. If people want to ask questions about it, I'll answer honestly, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
interaction
Sean,
I ever
messed
had
up.
with her was, I probably talked to her 2 or 3 times at the wedding. I did see her after she fell and she hurt her arm. And I think you ended up taking her to the emergency room or something
People
like
were
that.
right in
asking
New
if
York
she
where
was
we
drunk.
were.
You
Right.
said she wasn't particularly drunk.
No, she wasn't.
No.
She was just acting,
Doing her full
acting
self.
nuts. Yeah.
I got it.
Can y'all hear the party
But
going on
the
next
thing
door?
that the thing that I'm trying to understand though is
Right.
if she broke both wrists, she had casts for 6 weeks or 8 weeks on both
Something,
wrists?
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh.
Both? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do remember sitting there. I do remember seeing, she had fallen and it looked like she had broken her arm. It did look like it. But
Well, it was because but
Right.
The point is that every time that there was an event, she had to have the spotlight.
And
I didn't know what you guys want to talk about.
No, whatever.
it's good.
Because
No,
it's the truth.
perfect.
I'm going to tell you guys the truth, whether it's good or bad or ugly.
That's-
I'll tell you the truth because, again, the only beef I have with her is the bullshit that she says about him, and it drives me crazy. But I had to stop watching it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I had to because
lot of people, yeah.
knowing what he's done, and apparently you can come out here and say whatever you want. But yeah, I did see, as far as the attention and stuff like that. I wasn't there. I didn't actually see her fall, but apparently she walked out in the center of the floor, fell, and hurt her arm. But
What is
apparently that's a thing.
But there was always a scene, right?
When I was there, I mean, at my wedding, there really wasn't much. At Michael's wedding, my other brother's wedding, yeah,
Okay.
there was a scene and stuff, but, you know, it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
It-
guess
it-
that comes with the territory. She must always need attention, I guess.
Yeah, and the thing is I just wasn't invited anymore, which
Right.
really sucked.
I guess that's what's
Yeah.
more important here
Yeah.
because that really was a bummer for me and a lot of us, but, you know, all of us cousins, we're all so close. We all love each other so much, which is another example of what we did this week. But
It took
she
me
just-
a second to wonder what Danny was saying, and she said, "Are y'all pledging
Oh.
SAE?" And she was talking about It does sound like a frat party's
Did
going
you,
on. Back
Well, it's not us. It's next door. They're going
Did
crazy.
Did you watch Dr. Phil when he was
On the
it?
replay.
Okay, what did you think?
I felt bad for Sean.
Yeah.
Another thing, that's what bothers me, whatever's happened in the past up till recently, he stood by her and it didn't look good.
Yeah.
It didn't look good, but he stood by her no matter what happened, whatever she was saying and all the bullshit and stuff like that, he still stood by her.
That happens with a lot of you. Y'all, it's a loyal family to each other.
Big time. And another reason why I said someday I would even come out here and talk. I would come in the chat sometime because it really pisses me off when she would say stuff we can talk about more if you want
Whatever
to later.
you want,
But
yeah.
it would really upset me because my family is very close.
Yeah.
And
Very close.
Disrespect my grandparents' family and the name, saying some of the stuff she said. Again, if you want to get into it, that's fine at some point. If not, but it's just ridiculous, man. I love my cousin so much, and if you're going to tell lies about him, apparently you do that about everyone. But if you do, because obviously I'm sure she's watching, it's wrong.
If she can get some free Wi-Fi, she might.
You shouldn't have. I don't know what the situation is
I'm
with
just
that.
kidding.
I just don't see what you could possibly get out of it anymore. But she's clinging to something that she lost, and she screwed up, and she knows it.
Yeah.
So.
And that's the common thread that, me aside, because Sean and I met through YouTube, but we knew each other before Dr. Phil. So that is exactly where we met. So with the fact that I'm his new wife, notwithstanding, it is beautiful drama. But
Yeah, Danny Dandelions used the word trauma bond. That's it.
yeah,
That
do
was
you know
it.
anything about narcissism?
Yeah.
You think she,
Yeah.
from what you've seen?
God, I see it so I really think, out of anyone I've ever met in my life, okay, I really, really feel that she's genuinely an evil human being. I do feel that. I really do feel that. And the stuff she says and the stuff she does, I really feel that way. And you know what? You can come out here and say whatever you want, and I'm sure she'll come on and make up shit about me, and that's fine. I don't care. I got nothing to hide. That's why I came on here. But I had it up to here about constantly dragging my cousin over all the lies. You want to talk about the truth then? We were pissed at Sean. We missed him, and he kept going back, and it sucked, man.
And that's
we were
okay to
pissed at
say
you, and
that.
I'll tell him right to his face.
No, it's okay.
But-
But
That's why we're on here.
But I've heard him say that. It's the truth. And now, thank God you came into his life, Mandi. Thank God, because it's so much better now, and I'm so happy you're here.
Because I can do this.
He wouldn't be here. He wouldn't be here.
I wouldn't be invited. Could you imagine having a family reunion and the big elephant in the room was always Sean can't come.
It happened a lot.
Sean
and what
can't
did
come.
people
Weddings,
say? Did they say, God, he needs to? What was the? Or
No,
nobody really says
out of
anything.
respect. Out of respect for his family.
Nobody talks about anybody.
No,
Yeah.
out of respect, because it was a decision he made.
Yeah.
It's a decision he made, and you know what? None of us are perfect. I've screwed up many times in relationships and stuff like that, but we just didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about it.
You
Sean
wanna read
deserves
that?
the respect.
I mean, you can
it's
have-
his private life, so.
My new contacts are such that I can't read with my contacts in, and I wear them all the time. So
Misfit Beck is saying that she no longer supports TT. It's not that Beck. You're a whole can of worms, girl.
yeah.
I appreciate that, but yeah, I do appreciate that.
Another thing, I mean,
Is
honestly,
it someone that I know? I mean,
It's
but
Beck,
from
Australia.
that
Ooh.
Beck. Okay.
Yeah, but
I've been in
sometimes she
Australia.
That's a
says
long
she
time.
makes racial slurs.
Oh.
Yeah.
and that
Yeah,
is
she does.
So Presley,
Gotta watch
have you
those.
seen
Okay.
Presley come in?
I haven't. It's been about 2 months.
This girl Presley,
She's a big Cubs fan too.
she's a big Cubs fan, but she has watched since before. I mean, from the beginning.
Yeah.
And she was always a quiet watcher.
Mhm.
She has.
Presley,
we
are
have
you in here, sweetheart?
She is. We have lots of huge supporters. She blesses us many ways, but sometimes she showers us with things, and that's awesome. But more than that, I've talked to her before on the phone, and she knows the deal, and she can put into words what people saw in the transition that they watched.
Right.
With me, you mean, and
Right.
us? Yeah.
That never chatted, but they were silent watchers.
And you can see it on YouTube. Well, that's the thing here
and
again.
his color came back.
I can come on here and people are going to think I'm a family member. I'm just going to come on and say blah, 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 blah. I'd rather just, if you guys have questions, I'd rather just answer questions because this is going to be a one-time shot for me. We're here at the family reunion. If I can get out to you guys, and again, Sean, I'm sorry. There's a lot of things I really want to stress that really upset me, and that's the only reason why I came on to do this because I'm so sick of the lies she's telling about Sean.
So if y'all have questions,
any questions, I don't want to come out here and just say, be like,
press release like, hello, family member.
You know.
Yeah, no, questions is the best way to go because then he can honestly just answer them instead of just talking.
Right, I don't want like a puff piece. I'm going, oh, Sean, blah, blah, blah. No.
Do you know, have you seen Robin?
I know Robin. I do know Robin.
When she would do her call-in shows when the Beast would do it, Robin would call in, and so would Linda.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Linda would call in?
Yes.
So,
that just goes to show who would give out your phone number and ask for people to call you and people that hate you.
She did it because it was a Google number, and as soon as people dialed that number, she had a cohort that could break into their Google. It was like an app, you know, where you have a Google number that it ran with That's why she did it. People
I figured she was just desperate for the attention, whether it's good or bad.
Was the fall at the wedding like the fall on Dr. Phil? Did she just kind of collapse?
I got to be honest. I didn't see it at the wedding. I didn't
even see it.
A bunch of people gathered around. I'll tell you this again. I'm not defending or whatever. Her arm was broken. I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it. So whether she fell and that happened.
But it sounds like everybody was like, "Shut up," and she's like, "No, it's really her."
Yeah. It was.
And see, when that happened,
no love lost for her. I
understand, but that event
being the truth about everything.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Right.
10 years ago.
You didn't see Dr. Phil.
2012.
I watched it on the replay.
2012, I think it was. That was the year.
That he got married? Or the wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was married in 11, so yeah, it was next year.
Yeah. So,
I already said you're a freaking amazing father.
Thank you so much.
I told Sean yesterday, didn't I? I said he is such an amazing father.
Here's the thing. Here's the byproduct of this. The other thing about this stream is that, Mandi got to meet my family, my family.
About time.
And I wanted her to see where I came from in my formative years, who raised me collectively, the family that did, because they're all here, all of them. And there's a lot of them. There's 6 families full.
Right. We got 63 people altogether.
63 people are here.
And we had a seafood boil tonight, and all 63 people ate till they were stuffed.
Yeah.
I hope we can do this again. I mean,
I do
too. It's a big undertaking. We talk about it privately. I wish we could do this next year, even again. Everyone do what we have to do because this is just an amazing time. Because I'm not going to be able to see you guys, and the likelihood is not.
I want to go to New England.
Yeah, and that was the other thing is that
I want to meet your uncle. We don't have to say who it is. Your uncle.
We're not,
I would love to meet your godfather.
Yeah, he's my godfather.
Yeah.
The one that's not
here. He's awesome.
And when you meet your significant other, Mandi, and I was trying to describe to her, how close my family is, and we need to shoot up to New England, or we need to go somewhere. But there's nothing better than to have this experience to get her on board with it,
Andy, I'm sorry.
I gotta leave early I'm leaving early, and it breaks my heart because y'all get to stay the rest of the week. Oh. I'm sorry.
What did you think when you saw her flush Sean's dog tags?
Didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It didn't surprise me, but it didn't surprise me. I'm sorry.
That's good. That's the
one thing. The good thing that happened with that is some people finally saw her for what she is.
Right. When Sean treated her, he couldn't come around anymore. Let's put it that way.
I couldn't.
All of his family.
Imagine that. Well, everything that I'm describing about how close the family is, and just being uninvited to family things. And seeing them on Facebook, or maybe a picture would float around in a Christmas card, and I was no longer able to be part of this because of my relationship, and which lasted 10 years total.
And after seeing the way this family interacts,
picture her here. Picture her here in it.
Yeah.
And
exactly. Picture if she was here.
And it happened a couple of times, and that's why it didn't just happen out of the blue sky. You couldn't come around anymore.
Yeah,
man.
I couldn't come around. Yeah.
It sucked, but in a situation like this, there's always something that would happen, and we just couldn't deal with it anymore. But anyways, we keep saying the same
And
thing, but it's true.
I love how Sean does not. You're holding him responsible to a certain extent.
Definitely, man. That's why I'm going to tell the truth about it.
Yeah.
Definitely going to tell the truth about it.
It's
not right.
I can say this: not one, other than what we're doing right now, not one family member has mentioned her.
Not one. This is it.
No.
Not one.
We might. There's an outside chance that when we wrap this up, they're going to be like,
They
"Y'all
mostly
shouldn't have."
say exactly what you said they would do. Sean's a good guy. I'm glad that he found.
But can imagine that, y'all. So I haven't seen him in 10 years.
Didn't
right?
mention it.
Not one person
Not one.
has mentioned it.
Not one.
her. She doesn't exist. What they gotten to see is this woman over here.
Right.
And how many? You've got a couple people welcome you into the family. Like,
Yeah, there's been a couple of people where you were like, well, they were kind of cold with me back in the day, and I'm like, I would have had no idea.
Right.
They love
Right.
you. They're very receptive to me. I don't normally go into like. I think some of her insecurity is that she goes into a situation that she's feeling very intimidated by, and acts a fool because bad attention's better than no attention. And I do think
that's what would happen.
Right. I think she's mentally ill, but I do think to her very core she's rotten and evil.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree with that. I
my
have no problem
thing-
coming out here and
yeah.
saying it because I've typed it a million times. You do this shit you're gonna do,
Hey.
and the stuff you're gonna. I can't imagine the stuff she'd make up the shit I'm saying. But the stuff with Sean, you're gonna say stuff like that. You know, you're gonna pay. It's just not right. It's bullshit.
She saw you in a chat one day, and then she talked on her stream and said that she used to have to tell Sean that you hit on her.
Yeah.
What are you
Everybody's hit
talking
on.
about?
She
She
said that.
She said that
when
you always
she
hit
saw
on
you in
her
her
all
chat
the
one
time
time,
and everything.
and she that's
When?
what she made up.
That was a few months ago.
It was a few months
No,
ago.
when?
No,
just
that's
said
what
in
I
general.
saw her at the wedding.
That's what I'm saying.
She
You never.
said in general. That's how
But
you were.
and I don't want you to get upset by that.
No,
But my
don't
point
get
is, she will take things.
Right.
There's things that don't even exist, and that question was probably going to come up because it was a clip. Nobody even knew who she was talking about. She just said the person in the chat, and
I could never understand. Now when you're in the pot, you don't get it, and you can see that. I can see that now with other relationships. You don't understand it until you get outside and start to see what my decisions were and stuff. But I think part of the conclusion that I made was that when some certain people, certain pathologies walk into a situation that's full of love, they don't understand
exactly
how to deal with that energy.
You kind of have
This
to be
is just-
raised with that dynamic to
I mean,
understand
you
it.
see-
And I was. It's a little dysfunctional at my house.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
but like even today, like we were talking about all the like the little bit of bickering that started today about certain things, and I'm like it's never gonna boil over because
Nope.
we just love each other too much,
Right.
But if you put 60 plus people in an environment for a week like us, there's going to be a few little snippy
But
Sure,
really,
sure.
not that much.
but not much.
No.
Not much.
No.
Well, you know what? Hitting on her, that is great. I just don't understand, first off, when it could have happened. I saw her at a wedding.
But see,
Yeah, you-
But
that's...
having said that, what she likes to do, from what I've seen, is disarm someone.
There you go.
You assault their character before they can say
There you
the
go.
truth about you, so you make something up about.
Yeah.
And on YouTube, apparently, you can do that. But okay, so I hit
can,
on her.
you
So
see
whatever I say about Sean is not true. First off, are you fucking kidding me? And again,
But
your
everyone
ex-wife-
knows she's full of shit.
Right. I don't want to take out pictures of my girlfriend or the wife. That's disgusting. You got to be kidding. But you have to disarm someone's credibility, because if they know you're lying about things, if they disarm you, right, they make you look like an asshole. You see it all the time. In
Well,
the
they
world.
have to smear you.
Right.
When she
Before
saw
the
you
word comes
defending-
out.
Sean
Right.
explains to me how with narcissism, the first order of business is to mean and smear him. So
Well,
if someone
in the
loves
like
him,
politics.
if someone loves him, like he's not allowed to be loved. So
Yeah,
if I buy
that's
him
tough.
baseball
Right.
cards and say, Mary, he's not allowed to have that.
For
because
a narcissist, when you're breaking up, and they're in that smear campaign, anybody that supports you anyway, they're going to go for
They're
them.
the enemy.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I guess, yeah. With hitting. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I've seen her do it to people that have come to your defense and, oh, you're this, you're that. I mean, you can come out here and say whatever you want.
Well, when you have no
ridiculous.
when you have no credibility and everybody knows down to your core that you're a dishonest person.
Right. In this
That's what I taught
situation,
my
I'm sure they
kids
know
from
that.
the time that they were born. Your word is all you have.
Right, well.
And when people can't, you see what I'm saying though? That's once you've destroyed people being able to listen to you have nothing.
I mean, she when she knew that we were
Yay,
together, the two of us,
Dragonfly.
she was able to trump up charges in North Carolina and make
Did
her
you know
have to go
that?
to court in North
So
Carolina.
she filed charges in North Carolina. We hadn't talked about or addressed or nothing. She filed charges and paid to have them served in Texas, where they really meant nothing. But we went anyway because it ended up finalizing the divorce.
It was the best move our lawyers
But
made.
she filed a North Carolina stalking and sexual assault against
And it
me,
was in,
paid
like,
to have it
against
served.
you?
It was
Yeah, because in North Carolina you can take it out on anyone. And
Sexual assault?
Yeah. It was a stalking sexual assault was the, but she's not saying like sexually. It's
Right,
just
right,
part
right.
of the thing.
It's under the
So
title, yeah.
we showed up and like always happens, our attorney wiped her clean.
Right.
Made
I've heard a lot of
fool
those
out
stories
her.
watching. Yep.
So
at
but yeah,
least say it was
so
mean
I
to
had to
you.
answer for charges and they were civil charges.
Right.
But you know, we showed up and I remember sitting in the galley of the courtroom and I'm like, I've never waited in court for anything. I don't get in trouble. I don't whatever. And I wanted to throw up. So if you take pleasure in that little thing, that's fine. But once we got up, you know, sitting behind the thing with our attorney, we got, if you want to call it, you know, some sort of revenge brought on via attorney, that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
She couldn't think straight.
Yeah.
But
you know,
anyway, so I had
Wow.
to answer.
I mean, hit on you. I mean, at least say I was mean to you, or stole your roll at the
But
table or something like
I
that.
only
You got to
bring-
be kidding me.
I only brought it up because there was a couple of people that had said, yeah, they said that he was mad and that's why he talked about her in the chat.
See, that's what's great. No, I defended him in the chat because you tell lies about him, and they're bad lies, and they're horrible lies. How dare you dishonor the service? What he went through, Are you kidding? We'll talk more. If you guys ask questions about his service, you want to ask anything, please. I just don't want to come out here and seem like I'm just
one of the things I
kidding
knew
me.
that happened when Andy was like, hey, can we do a live? And I be on live. I said, yeah. One thing I knew is that this guy, he is an emotional dude who puts it right out on it. Everything he's feeling, you're going to see it.
But animated and well spoken.
Yeah.
Is it?
Heck
All right.
yeah.
I'm just having
Oh, let it go. Let me go back and look.
to
What did
watch and listen
Andy-
to this stuff for how it's gone on, and then we can talk about the domestic abuse too, because you ask any questions you want. Another one, you got at least domestic abuse.
This is so. This
Not
one
going to-
says, what did Andy
Sorry.
do when the Beast would act out and Sean was away in Atlanta and then he'd have to go home early?
Well, we don't live in the
that's
same
what I'm
area,
saying. He
though.
lives
Well,
in
that's
New
the whole
England.
thing. Make something up. You know, I've seen her 2 or 3 times in my life, and it was at a wedding. And the only time I'm sure I said thank you for coming to my wedding
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
with
like,
my.
Andrew's like, I did not hit.
Well,
Everybody
that's
knows
just
you did.
ridiculous. Make something else up to try to
The other
discredit
thing you got to
me.
know
Kidding
about
me?
it.
Not that it's ridiculous.
The other thing you have to
anyways.
know about a wedding, I almost said our surname, but when we would have weddings, it get pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It got pretty crazy. I mean, we party
Have fun.
at our weddings, and for her to be able to upstage that, it's
Oh,
quite
good.
an act. It has to be something,
Right.
you know.
Well, we need to be the center of attention. You don't have any way of getting it.
Yeah.
You have
See,
no
let it go.
talent. You have no nothing. You get to just
Yeah.
fall down, apparently.
I
You
don't-
know what? Not for nothing. I'm sorry. I
No, you're
apologize.
good. No, you're good.
On Dr. Phil, Sean, I'm not kidding you.
Uh,
When we heard you were going on, I swear to God, people would say, do you think she's going to pull something like falling or something? And she did it, dude.
yeah. My-
She showed her
Mom,
ass for
Mom
sure.
Mom was up there with y'all. I think she was
Maybe.
Up there,
She
up
might have
north,
been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
but-
she did it. Andy said she did it.
But it was, how weird is that? We figured she'd do something stupid and lie, but she did that.
She collapses.
She
She,
did that.
pretends to collapse.
Earth. I just don't get it. I don't get
What
it.
did you think when you found out she beat somebody up in court?
I
Not surprised.
mean, I just, only by watching this, I heard she attacked someone in court. And I don't know how.
She's on probation.
Yeah, but
How does that happen?
no, it doesn't surprise me, but I don't know how she can get away with something like that. You know, I mean, that's jail time. That's jail time, I
Well,
would think.
she's lucky she didn't do felony time.
Right.
But she is on probation, and which is interesting. So she's on probation for assault, right?
Right.
So all of the accusing she did of Sean of beating her and this and that. Who's on probation for assault?
Yeah,
Her
right.
stupid
That's
ass.
always been what people who first impression, once they saw stuff for the first couple, you know, they come into the community and they don't know nothing from nothing. They just see the facts. They would say, but wait a second. So I said, no, I don't have any record. But she's literally has a record for assault. Literally has one. So.
What about the fake suicide attempts when
Oh,
Sean
geez.
would leave town?
I'm sorry. So these are questions that are coming in.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
reading them.
sorry. Okay.
No, you're good.
Because it might get a little cluttered and stuff like that. But I just want to get back to, again, it pisses me off. You want to talk about our family assaulting, Sean doing that stuff. First off, we know it's a lie. We know all that. Every day I was getting, please. But second off, and more importantly, it's just, if you're going to say stuff like that, it's going to come back to you.
Yeah.
I think what she didn't
Karma is a thing, right?
understand.
I guess, but
What she did not understand is the power of this family and the love that this family has.
You can't
know?
understand it till you've seen it.
Yeah,
in
and
action.
that's what Mandi. I don't know how close y'all's families are, and I intentionally don't talk about them very much because I don't want them to be drawn in.
right.
But Mandi, my heart is full because she's here and she's seeing it. You know, we've been together over 3 years, coming up on 2 years of marriage.
Amazing.
But this is where it come from.
Yeah.
This is where I was raised up when I was a little one,
and it ain't too shabby.
and you can't stand
No.
you can't stand in front of the family and do
Well,
those things.
that
They're
was-
going to be like, what?
That was one of the things that you wanted to drive home. It had nothing to do with material items or anything, but when we started talking, and especially when I met your family, you wanted me to understand that despite that dysfunction that I saw, your family was solid.
Yeah.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
something he really
Yeah.
wanted me to understand, that
Big time.
relationship
And
was
how
not
does-
indicative of.
And how do I go that far off?
I don't
the
know.
path, with everybody's influence in my life.
The assault, there's been a couple of things that have really driven me crazy again, and a lot of it's the domestic bullshit, not to mention victims that really get beat up and stuff like that, but she's what we call, or people would call in the field, a cop caller. If Sean ever, and I mean ever, was doing this, never mind every day, she'd be on the phone to the cops every single time.
Taking all kinds of
Yeah.
pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just absolutely ridiculous. He never laid a hand on you. He never did any of that stuff. He didn't beat you up every day. I'm sorry you need to get attention somehow, but coming after my cousin like that and saying something so despicable in my family, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. You guys didn't get along. You guys ended up getting a divorce. It happens to a lot of people. You don't make up stuff about an honorable guy saying
Right.
he did that to you every day.
Years later.
Drives me crazy. Right. And now all these people watch these films, and there's people who actually, just human nature would say, well, maybe that's true. It's freaking ridiculous. You can't go on there and say that stuff about
new
people.
that get drawn in, and most of them are in this chat that get drawn in by her. She hadn't talked about it in quite a while, but
Good.
when she did, she knew the new people, especially people that were actually victims of that, would throw her some PayPal. If she did that,
there's always
he
a,
beat
there's
me
a
and he
revolving door
Right.
that
and she
with
can't.
that you always have new people that are on the net.
She's
and
she's always begging for money.
Right.
Always. And like I said,
Well, I can tell you, before we get, I don't want to lose this train of thought. I'm sorry, Mandy.
No, you're good.
But what I noticed with this
He's
whole
great.
domestic,
He's great on
Lizzie's made for it.
I'm just
I know.
it's going crazy because, like I said, it's my one opportunity to do this, and right is right and wrong is wrong. If this was actually happening, I lost my train of thought for a second, and I apologize because I'm so flustered by this.
Presley said she never got a cent for me. We know that, Presley.
Right.
I'm trying to let him
ahead.
get his train.
I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. It's just the whole physical stuff is real. Oh, what I noticed, my point is that what I noticed, because again, I would watch a lot up until a couple months ago, and for whatever reason, I stopped. But
She can't stream though right now, so
She can't?
You haven't missed anything. No. No. But there's no. I'm just saying that
Some of the other people that have come.
you're caught up with.
Before
okay.
you
Okay.
checked out, did you ever see Letitia?
Love
no,
notes for
maybe right.
TLC.
But I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry, I don't-
Going back a couple months, I noticed this whole domestic abuse stuff, beating Sean up, stopped when her daughter came into the picture.
Yeah.
If they wouldn't get along, Trisha knew that her daughter had the goods and that Sean never did that before. So she had to take her foot off the pedal because,
Yeah. That's a good point.
well, that's it.
very
I
good point.
can keep saying this, that, but her daughter knows it's not
Yeah.
true. So she needed to stop saying that because for whatever reason, if Becca got mad at her, maybe she would throw her under the bus or something like
She
that.
did
saying that
throw
she's
her
a
under the
liar.
bus.
She did?
You didn't. Oh,
So,
you
no,
were-
see, I missed it, but I
She-
noticed she stopped talking
she
about
drug
it
the shit
when.
of her own daughter.
Yeah.
She what?
Okay, so she on and off lives in Becca's government housing in a bedroom, but they had a skirmish and Becca kicked her out, rightfully so.
Right.
And
She
Trisha
she
drugged the
her
hell out
right
of her
on-
own
for
daughter
about
for
3
a
days,
week,
right
told
on
all
her
of her
own daughter.
business, did everything.
Yep.
I mean, you can't
There you
apply
go.
reason to people like that.
No, she's your own daughter. But yeah, you stop talking about getting beat up every day and blah 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 when your daughter came on the scene and knew that
One of the
it's bull
things,
crap.
like,
That's actually a really good
Yeah,
observation.
well,
Yeah, it
just
is a
from an
good
outsider's point of view, because I'm
observation.
not part of this YouTube community, but it stopped happening. It stopped happening. Then
Yeah.
you stopped talking about it when you knew
One of the
that your
things
daughter
when-
knew it's not true.
one of the things that I knew, and I told Mandi this when my stepdaughter came on panel, was number one, it won't last long. It won't last long at all, because she doesn't really want to do it. That was the first thing I said, right?
Yeah.
She'd be here and gone within a week. And the second thing is that she will say that she's not going to talk about me, and she did that. She's not going to talk about me, and she said that. She said, I'm not going to talk about Sean. And so then when you throw in Andy's perspective, where she knew, that, so that's a great observation.
And again, it's from the bullpen, because I'm just someone who would just keep up with it. Obviously, I had a vested interest because I love Sean so much, and I know it's not true. And know it's not true the whole time, and disrespecting our family's name and stuff like that. But it did stop then. Again, I haven't watched it in a while. Don't know what she's been
Right.
saying, but I noticed she stopped talking about that lie,
And
because you knew.
Again, I want you guys
She has.
to realize where I'm at right now, that I'm back with my family, and I'm back
Forever.
here, and I get to see them again. A lot of them are in their 70s. A couple of them are, my father's in his 80s. I may never get to see him again.
All right, man. I'm
May
hoping
never.
we do this again.
Huh?
I'm hoping
I
we do
think
this
I know,
again.
I think
man.
they should. I think they probably will, since it was maybe not of this caliber, but
But there's one of the uncles that I just had that very conversation. It was like, they didn't know if they were going to see me again.
Right.
They didn't know if they
Oh,
didn't
you
know if
did
they
have
were
that
ever going
conversation
with
with-
one of them. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
it's like we didn't think that we were going to see Sean again. They were thinking, oh, he's out of that relationship. Great. They had never met Mandi, and I mean, and you can't blame them if for in the back of their head they're like, I don't know, Sean's brought a couple crazy ones around, so
and they're all crazy about Sean. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm crazy about
Love
him.
him.
We see that Andrew is, but everyone, and I've always said this, you're a genuinely likable, kind, funny person,
for the first 40,
and that was taken away from you.
the first 42 years of my life, this was my my extended heartbeat was my family, and,
Right.
and all over this my family it was. And so for the last 10 of those years, I didn't have it anymore. My decisions, and you said you hold me accountable for them too.
Well, I just want you to know
but
that
it's
we
the
never
truth.
stopped loving you, man. It hurt.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it had to be, because
Yep.
we didn't know what would happen if she would come around.
Yeah, and
If she's
so
willing to say this stuff, she can do anything. I'm
so
sorry,
40,
gang.
42 years of my life I had them, and then for 10 I didn't,
A very long
and now
10 years.
I have them back. I have them back.
And that's what, that's what matters. It's a long road to get here, but you got here, man, and we're so happy. And especially with Mandi. I mean, I've watched. I see you guys genuinely in love. It's obvious to see, but now that finally get a chance to meet her, it's awesome, and I'm so happy for you, man. It just
Thank you.
I remember when you came outside with your boy. Yeah, you came out, didn't you?
yeah.
And we were bringing our bags in, and I was like, Andy, Mandi, and he was like, oh,
Yeah, for the
Right.
question about his dog tags, no, she never sent his dog tags to his family, to him,
No.
to
No.
no one.
no, that wasn't gonna
And
happen.
that's another thing I want to talk about. If you guys have a question on his service, because I want to talk a little bit about that too, because I could never do to go through what he's been through. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar what ranking is, but you salute this guy. He's an officer in the Army. He led troops into battle. I've sent pictures have circulated, they came from me, of him helping liberate kids in Iraq, and them hugging him and loving him and loving him and loving him, and for her to come on and not just flush the dog tags, but make up lies saying, oh, he just did this and he just did that. Well, I can tell you this, man, I wouldn't have half the balls go through what you went through in there, man, and then to see her say stuff like that, and you can get away with it on YouTube. Apparently, you can say that. It's bullcrap, man. You're over there. How many tours?
I had one, well, two,
Yeah.
because I went through
They
OIF
exceeded
1 and OIF 2. I didn't come home. I just stayed. I was there for both.
And he was in
So-
charge of people. He was training people, everything, not this bullcrap that you spew.
And Black Dragonfly, you're right about that. The thing that we all knew from watching was when we would hear Sean was going to Atlanta, we would be like, oh, the shit's gonna hit the fan now. And he didn't even make that connection that it was every single
I never
time.
realized that.
4 days, you said.
I knew that I had about 4 days where I could be away before it, but I didn't understand that the community, that the DC knew it.
Yeah.
That y'all knew it. Y'all
be
knew
like,
it better than me.
We're gonna get a shit show because he's gonna
Yep.
be in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But
Because she had nobody. She had nobody.
nobody.
Right? And then the one person that would take care of that's another thing. Gosh, I watch videos. I paid for this. I paid for that. Are you freaking kidding me? A military pension took care of everything. Plus, he still worked the job hours and hours just to make sure you had what you need. And you go have the gall to say this stuff. It just,
And you guys,
I don't understand the point of it. Don't you just want to go on and be a happy person and build a business or get a job or do something?
There's a dildo shortage, Andrew.
Yeah, well,
Al said that. I
you
didn't
know-
know there was. But then, and see, the thing that I've always said, when people would come at me, whether it be her or a couple other people that have done it at some point, one of the things, like I've made mistakes in my life, you know, but one of the things that I did well, and that it doesn't bother me when people talk about it and make lies of, was my military
Yeah.
service. That I did
That's
right.
not-
I did that right.
That's not up for question.
For 23
yeah.
years,
But-
you know. So,
yeah.
Well, that's one thing
and I
that just
know
drives me
the
crazy.
people, the ones that really matter, family, they know that. The
Yeah.
ones that are really close to me knew that. That never bothered me on YouTube. When
Oh, it bothered
when
me.
people, I know it did.
Good for
I know
you.
it did. I know
it
it did.
didn't bother. And it's not about me, but I'm just saying that's so. Of course, you never would say anything about this stuff. I'm like, how do you not just defend? Because it's the truth. It's truth. But you guys know better than I do, and it bothered us. It
Yeah.
bothered
Yeah.
me all the time. How can you come on here and say that stuff when you know what he went through? Wives of soldiers with PTSD. I want to be in this group. I want to do all this stuff. Blah, 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 so you can get attention.
Yeah.
So you can get attention. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, he's doing what he did, and you want to tell lies about
Or-
stolen valor and stuff like that. It's because you got nothing else you can say, and it's
Or
freaking
throw him in
ridiculous,
jail
man.
and then try to raise money to get him out. How?
I don't know about that.
That's No, but I mean that's diabolical.
Yeah, when I went to jail there, she turned right back around, and her campaign was he's got PTSD, and we have
Raising
to
money.
stand behind him.
Isn't that crazy?
And-
For attention.
Yeah.
That's
Whichever
what.
had the best possibility of letting her show herself for what she was. Does anybody else have any questions?
I mean, that's basically why I came on, and I'll answer more questions if you want. Again, I'm a little flustered coming on, and this isn't
I knew
planned.
two
Like, we're not
things.
we're not gonna ask these questions. I said I'll just come on here and I'll say whatever, and I'll answer any questions you want. But there's a couple of things I wanted to drill home.
So when first, there's a couple things with this. Y'all know Andy in the chat. He's been in the chat since Mandi and I were in Texas, and that's when he for a couple of years now, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
The first time he came
And-
in, I was like, "Is that your cousin?"
Right.
That was our
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, that was just to say hi at
Yeah.
first, and then when you see this, it's just important for you people to know. Okay, it's not true, and he wouldn't be welcome here if he put his hands on a woman.
Exactly.
And beat women.
No,
wouldn't be welcome, man. Even now,
I
it
wouldn't be
happen.
welcome in this family if that happened. Like I said, we have a family full of cops and attorneys and firefighters.
I'm sorry if I'm yelling too.
Every,
It's been
every
going on
it's-
for a
it's
long time.
We're a bunch
Yeah.
of public servants, teachers. It's a family full of public servants, and that's what we do.
Yeah.
And for a second, if he thought about doing that, he wouldn't be welcome here even now, and I can tell you that.
Yep.
I believe that.
And no one would in this family. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
no,
it did
no
not-
one
I-
would.
it-
No
I'm
one
not.
would.
Yeah, I'm not.
But
anybody.
it's just such a polar opposite. Like, I'm like, not only did he not do that,
Right?
there is nobody less likely to hurt anyone,
course.
woman, man, animal, nothing, than Sean. So you picked like
Yeah.
But she has.
You got to go for the lowest, though.
Right.
You have
she
to
has
go
an
for the
obsession.
lowest. You can't say, oh, you got to go
Presley,
for the lowest of the
thank
low.
you. Thank you, Presley. She
Okay,
always
Presley, you get a go Cubs.
Go Cubs, baby.
Yeah, she's a Cubs, big Cubs fan. Yeah.
She's
Thank you,
she's such
Presley.
a blessing. But yeah, that was one of the things that I was like, heck yeah, you can come on.
Yeah, I mean, I figured it's one opportunity to do this. It's important for me, you people to know, didn't happen. Hero in the military, and I'm not going to get into your stories of what you did because you don't do it, so I'm not going to do it. But it just, you sit here and watch this stuff, and he never even talks about, that's how much class my cousin has. He doesn't even come on and say, well, I'm going to dress, she said this, I'm going to dress, she did. No, he just lets it roll off his back when it's driving me crazy listening to her say these lies and lies and lies. Going over to Iraq and doing what he did in all this military service, and just drove me crazy, man. So that's why I wanted to come out here and answer more questions too or whatever, but it just drives me nuts. But apparently you can come out here and say what you want and not be held responsible.
Well,
but you all know, I think all you know the truth anyways, but.
And what we learned from the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing is you can say whatever you want,
right.
But people can turn
there's
around
a
and sue you
you'd
for
have
it.
freedom of speech,
You can
but
say
can be
whatever.
sued.
People always ask why Sean doesn't sue her for slander.
Right.
And get what?
And get what?
She would love it if he wouldn't face her in court. But what are they going to get?
What people don't understand about narcissists and other pathologies is that getting sued is fuel for them. You know, just being in controversy is fuel for them. But when Andy came, a couple days ago, and we all got here, and he came, he was really super excited about it. He was like,
right.
He's just such a cool, likable guy.
And Mandi and I haven't really been live too often in the last few months, and I thought about it, and at first I was going to be like, well, we're not really doing that. Then I thought about it, and I was like, no, he is part of the community. You guys see him in chats all the time.
Yeah.
I know that you're in Moon Bear's chats, you're in Paula's chats some.
Yep.
And so this is somebody that you guys see.
He knows the people
It was
in the
like, yeah,
community.
we'll figure this out.
Well,
we'll
because I keep
figure out how
saying
to
the
do
same
this.
thing, and the same thing I'm saying tonight. And that's why I would come in the chats, because you can't see me banging in my bed saying, how can you sit there and say that? How can you sit there and say after, I mean, he paid for everything. Of course he was in the service. Of course he never laid a hand on you, but you have to say the lowest things to get your attention to try to smear him. I don't even know why still.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah.
You guys are divorced. It's over.
The one thing that I've come to the conclusion is a narcissist, especially her, thinks that a man is out for one of three things. He either wants to rape her, kill her, or date her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
apparently
that's
I
what it
was
is.
hitting on her.
But do you see what I'm saying? Like that's how she classifies anybody. She not just an acquaintance. So, oh my God, Andrew, we got spammed with someone who's looking for cheap SEX and dating.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that might be them next door. I don't know. But
What do you mean? What do they do? What do they put
No,
in
it's
there?
a spam
Say
thing.
that
It's a robo thing
Our,
that
I
comes
see.
in.
one of our mods got him out of there before it could really.
But I do know that,
we
hey,
got some good
Tallulah
mods.
lives.
Good.
There's Moon Bear. Cub is milk drunk. I love that when babies drink too much milk and they're like, and it's like coming out their mouth and stuff. Moon Bear had a baby.
Yeah.
Yes, I hadn't. Again, I knew she was pregnant back in the day.
Yeah, she was a champ, man. She was streaming while they were. I don't think she ever had to have Pitocin, but she was streaming, getting ready to have that baby. We got to see Hubs.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Hubs.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
It was pretty cool. We watch, even if we don't say anything. We're always cruising around, but
Well, again, I asked to come on here too. I just want that note. I asked you guys. Maybe we could do something like this, because again, I'm not gonna have this opportunity, and I
We'll
just
have
wanted
to
to
just
say
teach
these
you-
things,
we'll
get it
have
off
to-
my chest.
We'll have to teach you how to take a link. That's the next
so
thing.
Yeah,
y'all
I guess,
have to,
but-
y'all have to. Now, when you know when Andy comes in, he is a bona fide family member.
This is my cousin. Always
Yeah.
has been, always will be, and
And the other thing I had to what crossed my mind was, well, I understand that she really hasn't been on the net and talking, and so it's like I kind of had to, and you kind of had a deal, Mandi, that like if she leaves us alone,
That's
then,
all she's got to do.
then that's.
But like I said-
but Andy's here. He said I just got a few things
Well,
that
this
we
is a
have to
personal
say.
thank you for all the bullshit
Yeah,
that we're gonna
yeah.
have someone who knows tell.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I mean,
I know this is one. I mean, linking. It's honestly, I'm not really interested of going on to do that at any point, or YouTube or any stuff. But that's why I would have maybe before said, let's get on and do something, but this is just an opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
And
It's
Well, you're
now
good
we're
at
in
it.
person. Just imagine if you you'd have your
Bobby's
YouTube
looking.
channel. Anybody that
Really?
has a channel, you have you do your streams, your content, and you just happen to family member, just somebody that you happen to know and like. In my case, I mean, this is my
He
cousin
knows
whom
the
I love.
players in the community
He
too.
know
I won't
and
say
someone
who it was
else
unless
that
he wants to
just
share
say
it.
you're at a beach
He was like,
beach
I do
area
fantasy
for a week,
football with.
and you run into somebody that's
don't
always
have
in
to-
your
it's
chats or
so
always in
cute.
chats,
Right.
and they're like, "Hey, can we go live?" You're gonna be like, "Yeah, of course, of course." You know. So,
yeah, that's all. I just, it bothers me. I love my cousin, and if there's any other questions, ask away. I'll tell the truth about anything. But again, I haven't been paying much. I haven't seen what she's been saying or doing. And again, I've never had a beef with her. Didn't know anything personally at
Yeah.
all, but just the stuff that she was saying, I just wanted a chance to address it to all you out there. And that is the truth,
That's
the
the
real
crux of it.
truth. And that's it for that.
Andy's gonna go be a dad. We're gonna go get in the hot tub.
we're gonna get in the hot tub,
Y'all are
guys.
gonna do what you do.
Hey, can I?
Yeah,
think
Boomer.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn the camera, and you're gonna see a red light. That's where the hot tub is. Real quick. Hold on.
That's it. I was like, we should stream for the hot tub with me and Andy. And I was like, oh, I guess that'd look kind of weird, right? If we all stream together in the hot tub. But then I was
Yeah.
like, who cares?
Doesn't that look pretty sweet, y'all? I mean,
Anyway,
doesn't it?
He is. He's a doting dad, and he wants to make sure that little
I love
man-
my cousin, and those are the truths. And I hope you all maybe someday can get along and enjoy each other. Your peace and quiet without having to deal with
Yes.
any of this bullshit
That's
on the
all we
internet. You
want.
two, I mean, you two.
Yeah, no, that's all
with all
we.
this bullshit.
That's all we want. We're happy to do our thing and cover other drama and not mention if she'll just leave us the hell alone.
I hope someday for you guys, but
Thank you.
that's it.
She
I
wakes
mean,
up one day feeling some kind of way and she
Yeah.
starts it back up again, but it's not going to change us, it's not going to change you, and it's not going to change the family. So,
love
Okay.
my cousin.
So we weren't gonna go live during our vacation,
but we did.
but we've got
Isn't he
Hi,
awesome?
gang.
He's so likable.
a guy that is in the community and just happens to be my cousin,
And
You'll
he's one
see
of the
him more
non-drinkers
and-
with us.
And I wanted you all to know that.
That's awesome.
That's it.
thank you, cuz.
Okay, thank you. I'll see y'all